Good evening. Sorry for the interruption. I've been trying to reconnect my new webcam, but unfortunately, this is giving us some trouble. So, if you can please wait one moment and I'll see if I can get this working. Okay, great. Well, thank you for having me. Welcome to the New York NLP Institute. My name is Dan Abella, and I am the founder and trainer of the NLP Institute. The subject of today's program is generative trance and access our collective wisdom using generative trance. You might be asking, what exactly is our collective wisdom? But I want you to just take a second and think about experiences where you had where you were speaking with some friends or some colleagues, and then you were trying to arrive at a solution that personally you were not coming or achieving anything. But you found that by speaking with your colleague afterwards, between the two of you, you were able to achieve some sort of solution to the problem that was at hand. This is an example of collective intelligence. You see, I've been doing a lot of thinking over the past few months during our pandemic. And you go on the internet, it turns out you're always flooded with ads for people that are trying to sell you something. They're trying to move you. They're trying to take you to another place. They kind of give the impression that you just don't have enough. If you learn this or if you learn that, then your life will be much better. Well, I'm under the opinion that we already know what we need to do with our lives. We already know, and we already most likely have the answers to what the steps we need to take to move our life forward. However, what usually gets in the way is our left brain, our left dominant brain, which is by nature very analytical, very linear based, very list based, um, and it thinks in terms of small details versus the large, grand pictures that are associated with the intuitive grasp. So the purpose of this program today is to, through a series of exercises that I'll be giving you, is to start connecting with our right brain or our intuitive self. Now, there are a lot of methods out there that have been discussed and examined over the years. Some of them include meditation, some of them include Tai Chi, some of them include art, drawing, some of them even include hypnosis. However, this is very distinct in the following way. Think of hypnosis, or your thought of being hypnotized is of someone who is supposedly an authority, a doctor or a therapist or a lawyer or perhaps someone whom you trust who is really good with suggestions. So normally you're following his suggestions or following his or her suggestions of how to move forward. However, it becomes tricky when the person is over dominant and is trying to install suggestions against your will. This is why traditional hypnosis doesn't work that well. It might work for a couple of months, but then after a while, unless it's really aligned with your beliefs and your values, your system kicks it out. The other type of hypnosis is called Ericksonian hypnosis. And Ericksonian, this is based upon the works of Milton Erickson, and his idea was that we have a very friendly, smart unconscious that is ready to help us whenever we ask. However, the left brain, the conscious mind, our conscious mind is too busy thinking that it's running its show, and it doesn't give the unconscious an opportunity to express itself. So when you're working with an Ericksonian hypnotherapist, he will essentially, his goal will be to basically knock out your conscious mind. That is, speak directly to your unconscious and consequently open up the unconscious before you. Usually, this also takes place during a sort of a hypnotic trance. Now, in generative trance, is more a cooperative system. What is generative trance about? It's about creating a bridge between your conscious and your unconscious mind. So, in essence, you're not really hypnotized. You're essentially opening a doorway to your own intuitive self. You're opening the doorway to your unconscious self, and thereby allowing you to get its benefits rather than having to follow someone else's suggestion. The idea of this is that we all have the resources we need to make the changes we need to make. Except the information, the answer is probably stored in a different part of our mind. And hence, we need to access our unconscious. We all have these moments when we're walking down the street, and then all of a sudden, bang, you have this flash of insight coming out of nowhere. Or you have this idea that maybe in the morning you're thinking, well, I'm going to find a way of solving this problem, let's say, and then you forget about it, and then down the road, a few hours later, boom, something comes to your mind and gives you a piece of information which helps you solve the problem. So essentially, these are all examples of a communication taking place between the left brain and our right brain. What generative trance does, it's a very systematic, formal way where you can start every morning building these powerful threads with your unconscious or your higher mind or your intuitive self, whatever you want to call it, so that you can essentially create a power. Instead of just a back road, you're creating a direct highway, super highway to your more wiser, smarter self. So for those who are not really familiar with the difference between the left brain, where most of our analytical mind, and our right brain, is the following. Left brain traditionally is associated with linear processing, very detailed. So if you find yourself writing a lot of lists, guess what? You're probably using a lot of left brain activity. Right brain associated with creativity, with music, with flow, with spatial intelligence, with movement. So the two of them will actually work hand in hand, but sometimes we get in our own way. So we might have an intuitive insight, but then our left brain says, no, it's not good enough. So essentially, with generative trance, you're creating a formal protocol where you're able to access that information every morning. Okay, and it also is a very simple process. What I will be reviewing in the next 10 minutes or 15 minutes with you is essentially what I do every morning. And this is a process that I essentially flesh out over a 2-hour program, which we offer in our seminars. But right now, so you get a little taste of what this program is about or what generative trance is about, we'll do this together. Okay, the first thing is I want you to think right now of a problem, an issue that's been bothering you. Whether it could be, the more specific, the better. It could be like how to stay healthy during the pandemic, or how I can prosper after the pandemic, and how to think of something very specific. Take a couple of seconds and think about it right now. Okay, and take a couple of seconds and think about it. It doesn't have to be something super dramatic. Now, this is the first thing that we need to do is I want you to express that issue in 5 words or less. In other words, let's say I want to increase my income. I want to increase my income. Or I want to be healthier. Or I want to have a better relationship with my partner. Or I'm looking for a bigger home. I want to buy a bigger home. But keep it at 5 words or less. And I'll go into the reasoning behind that later on. 5 words or less. Okay. All right, good. Now let's put that aside for a second. Write it down. If you haven't written it, write it down right now, or just remember it. Something very simple. Pick something simple, because the goal of this exercise is for you to get a sense of what generative trance is all about. Now, but put that aside now. I want you to think of a time when you were connected, where you felt really centered, where you felt that life flowed, that life was, you were one with the moment. It could have been in sports, it could have been reading, it could have been a walk down the beach, it could have been a talk with your friend. when things really flowed in a manner that really made you very comfortable and very centered. So I want you to just think for a second of a time when you felt centered, grounded, okay? When you felt connected, okay? Just take a few seconds and think of a time when you felt centered, when you felt grounded, when you felt connected. Could be to the earth, it could be to your friend, it could be to your work, it could be to a reading, an activity. We have different terms. We call it flow states. I call it being centered or grounded. Okay, just take a second and really deep breathe in, let go. Now just think of a time when you felt really centered, that you were really grounded in something. Okay. Now that you find it, I want you to point in your body where it is, the sense of that sensation of being centered. For some people, being when they're centered, they're feeling it's right on over their heart, over their chest. For others, it's in their mind. For others, it's in their belly. For others, it's on their navel. But pick a spot where you right now, as you're experiencing feeling really centered and grounded. Pick a spot, and then I want you to put your right hand, or doesn't matter, right or left, over that spot. Place your hand over it. And I want you to feel as you're breathing in and you're breathing out. I want you to feel that sensation of being grounded. As you remember how it feels to be grounded and connected, how to be really in a flow state, having maybe a wonderful experience. It could have been a beach, it could have been a day by the park, it could have been a call, a talk with your friend or with your colleague. But as you experience and you really feel grounded, connected to the earth, and when you place your hand over that part of your body where you feel most centered, just place your hand over the part of your body, whether it be the chest, it could be your throat, it could be your forehead, where you feel most centered. And really breathe into that sense of being grounded and being connected. Take a few seconds and really stay in that experience of feeling centered, grounded, safe, in a flow kind of activity. Something that really, okay, good, good. All right. Now what we're going to do, right? We're going to do a little breathing. And ideally let the breathing take place instead of your chest or your throat, which most people really speak at the time, their chest or their throat. Try to breathe from your abdomen. Take a breathe, and as you breathe with the inhalation, imagine a flow of awareness rising up your spine, and with the exhalation is coming down your spine. Okay, we'll do this together. We'll do one flow. With the inhalation, imagine your awareness is flowing up, 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 up to the top crown of your head. And with the exhalation, I want that awareness to just drop all the way down. Okay, we're going to do like 5 cycles of that. And the idea of doing this is to really get us to relax ourselves and to really begin to create an opening to our generative or intuitive selves. Let's do this together. We'll do this slowly and gradually. At the count of 5, we're going to breathe. Okay. Okay, now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe, 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 breathe. Then bring it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in again. Up, 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 up your spine, the back of your spine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And breathe down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Two more. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Settle in and settle down in that even breathing that you're experiencing right now. Now, as you're feeling more relaxed, I want you to place your hand over that part of your body where you feel most centered, that moment we discussed a few seconds ago. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Stay in your body. And I want you now, eyes open or eyes closed, it really doesn't matter. I want you to invite some resources that you have that could help you with a solution to this problem or this question you're having. Keep breathing. In, breathe out. Good. Settle in, settle down. I want you to invite 5 resources. These could be friends, mentors, trusted family members, associates, even people that you never met that you really feel a connection with. I want you to ask them, invite them to provide some suggestions on how to deal with this. Just eyes closed and ask them. It could be an image, it could be a bird, it could be a song, it could be a friend, but expect to be surprised by the answer. Again, ask, invite, let them come into your consciousness, into your awareness, resources that can help you with the question you have this moment. These resources can be an image, it could be a bird, it could be a sound, it could be a friend, it could be a colleague, it could be a person, it could be an activity. Anything, a place, it could be anything that comes to your awareness right now as you're holding your intention in that part of your body where you're feeling most connected. So hold that intention, or that question, that burning question you have, or that issue, and ask resources to come in and to show you something. And what something might come up, it might surprise you, or it might actually be, sounds like I don't make any sense of it, but that's okay. Just anything, any image, any sound, any people, any places, anything that pops up as you are thinking about it right now. What is that? And just let it be. Invite them to come in. Okay. Take a few seconds and invite them to come in as a friend. Like it could be an image, it could be a bird flying, it could be an activity you do, a sound, anything. Good, good. Now I want you to open your eyes, and for those who want to share, you can type in under the comment box some of what came up, some of the images or sounds, and because this eyes open, but type into the comment box right now next to you in the chat room what pops up. Anything that comes up, just type in. I saw a bird. I walking down the beach. Where it has to be something that's you, not coming from me, but it's coming from you and your unconscious or your intuitive self. I want you to really take a few seconds and just really chat. Okay. I'm gonna type it in here. This is the post a comment. And the comment is, please share some images, sounds, resources. Please use the chat room of a live stream that came up during this process. Good, excellent, beautiful. My children, 2 palm trees and a diamond this time. Excellent. I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes. And I want you to, first of all, thank that part of you, that aspect of you that shared this with you. Just thank that part of you that just shared this information. A quiet lake, beautiful. Excellent. Beautiful. Okay. Great, great, great. Take a second and thank that part of you, your intuitive self, or your unconscious, or your higher self, or God, whatever you feel most connected. And that, thank you for sharing this. Okay, excellent. Great. So now I want you to come back. Okay. And what we're going to do now is this. I will be basically weaving in a little story. Okay. I'll be weaving in a story with the three of you. Okay. Now, we all agree, this is where the collective wisdom comes in. We all agree that this is a challenging time for all of us. And we're probably wondering what is the best way to approach the pandemic or the post-pandemic experience we're having. And each one of us has an angle. Each one of us has a way to connect. However, if we join our minds together, like what we're doing right now, we may be able to come up with something even more that neither one of us thought individually, but it emerges organically. This is what I refer to as collective wisdom. So we retain our self, our sense of self, our individuality, but at the same time, we are able to tap into the collective thinking of many, the positive aspects. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a story that is going to weave in the the responses of the three people, the three of you that I've shared this with you, and each part is going to be part of the larger evolving self. Okay. All right. So when you just close your eyes again, and now for some of you, as you put your hand over that part of you that feels really grounded, really connected. For some of you, it's good to know that your children is a vast source of appreciation and connection and resources. And there are others whose image has been two palm trees and a diamond this time as the source of inspiration, of connection, of beauty. And isn't it amazing to know that we all have that connection within us? And in one other, we have a quiet lake. So you begin to slowly wonder how the two palm trees and a diamond begin to merge and be connected to a wide, quiet lake while being witnessed by the children. And isn't it good and it is wonderful to know that we all are, while each one of us has connections and desires and wishes, that we all share into this larger crucible from which the emerging intelligence arises. So as you begin to contemplate a quiet lake and nearby two palm trees and a diamond, and next to it the children, your children, you begin to realize that we can be part of a larger self that is very much interested in advancing and helping us while at the same time being part of our own individual selves. And our unconscious is a source of connection. And we all know that we have moments where we connected with someone and we didn't know why, but they felt like it was something really special. It was a great moment. It's a great time. We always had those experiences. And each and every one of you has a set of experiences and resources and the answers for the question that you have. So as you are on this journey, inviting resources to make their appearance, I want you this time knowing that we all sharing in a group session. I want you to individually ask, eyes closed, each one of you ask for other resources that have emerged, that have popped in. Just invite them to come in. Just allow yourself to be open, to be surprised. Allow yourself to be open to what appears before you while holding firmly in that special place of secure, grounded place, your intention, which is that quest that you're so interested in solving or exploring. Hold that intention, keep breathing, and then ask the resources, any other resources, to come in and share with you any images or sounds that come up that can help you with this. Holding firmly your intention, your question, that burning question, that desire that you need a solution, whatever it is, hold it firmly with your hand, and at the same time ask and allow yourself to be open to what comes up. Allow yourself to be astonished, maybe, or surprised. Because we all have those resources. Just take a few seconds now while breathing and ask in utter sincerity for any images or sounds that might come up. And just wait for an answer. Just take a few seconds. And I'll be breathing as well. Ask. And it's about letting it happen. If nothing comes up, thank anyway. If something comes up, accept. Whatever it is, let it be. An image, a sound, a feeling, an activity, a person, a place. Ask while holding that intention in your mind. Good. Just open your eyes. And now if anyone has any more resources or anything else to share, please type it in the comment below. Please type anything that came up. And it's okay. If that's all that came up, that's all that you need right now. It's not about more is better. Whatever you need, your unconscious is already sharing with you. And after we do this, I will show you one final piece that you can work with moving forward. Take a few more seconds. If you have anything comes up, anything you want to share, of course, anything that you want to share with the group. Most importantly, I want to emphasize that as you are inviting these images to pop up into your unconscious, from your unconscious, the respect is essential. So whatever pops up is beautiful. Whatever pops up is beautiful. Whatever pops up, thank it. You see, we're in the habit of thanking when something happens to us. Someone does that intentionally, but all day long, things are happening that, like, one day you'll wake up and it's a bright, sunny day. Well, you can thank God, you can thank your unconscious, you can thank that issue of gratitude is so essential because are, the more we are sharing that gratitude, the more the world opens up before us. Um, Especially during this time, this challenging period. Okay, great. So I have one said I visualize a bright sunrise, waves, and blue butterfly. Well, that's great, great. Two palm trees and a diamond, and a bright sunrise, waves, and blue butterfly. Good, good. Well, feeling anxiety, that happens sometimes. Because sometimes I want to, first of all, the person who has shared that with you, I want to first let her know there's a part of you. And this is what you need. This is how you resolve it. There's a part of you that may not be comfortable with the question. And we usually think, our left brain usually thinks, first of all, I want to thank that part of you for sharing its concern with us. I want to share, and I want to share and thank that part of you that has shared that concern with us. Because I'm sure that part of you, Anne, has very good reason to feel that way. You may not know it right now, and it's okay. And you can actually nod and thank that part of you for sharing. Because at some point, that part of you will share its concern. It might not be during this session, it might be afterwards. Gratitude is the key. So there is wisdom there, and the wisdom is to open up. So when you begin to share with that part and they shares back, you're creating a loop. And maybe this part of you has been overlooked. I really can't say right now. The most important thing, folks, is this: whatever comes up during these processes, it's part of who you are. So the key is to, if something comes up that it's a little, all of a sudden you feel, someone feels something, that is fine. Just accept what happens and say thank you for sharing. You're welcome. Thank you for sharing. And really mean it. So it's not about getting a right or a wrong answer, but it's about remaining open to what happens before us. So sometimes intuitions may not be what our left brain wants things to be. Say you're about to take a flight, and all of a sudden you have this intuition that shouldn't get on this flight. And then later it turns out the flight was detoured to another city for whatever reason. When at that very moment your left brain is saying, "Well, wait a minute, why is this happening?" So the key is to create a kind of a thread between your left brain, or your more conscious, dominant, analytical, digital, and the right brain, which sees the whole picture. They both are necessary. There is this tendency of some people to think only right brain and left brain. They're both equally necessary. So again, with your issue, and I believe it's thank that part, and you might just want to ask that part right now, what do you need to know? What does it need to feel right now? How the, on a scale 1 to 10, That how would that anxiety be? Is it a 3? Is it a 4? Is it a 5 or a 6? Okay, you might just as we're talking, ask and don't be afraid. Just like share that question, because that question or the answer to that is an opening. But at the end, all this is essential for us to really gather information. The reason we don't move forward and often achieve the solutions we are looking for is because there's a part of us that is objecting. It's not about finding that book or going to that seminar or going to that workshop. You guys already have pretty much all the answers of what you need to do right now. Now, if you're a data engineer or want to be a data engineer, yes, you might need to study data, or of course. But in terms of the larger issues, what to do with our lives, we're pretty by the time we reach a certain age, we pretty know what to do. Except there's a part of us that we've never really consulted, and so it's okay because I get once you have all your parts, all your aspects in tandem, and your unconscious is really sharing, you'll be surprised at how much it's sharing all the time, and you'll be very pleased with that. So, um, stay with that. I want you to really, I want to again thank that part for sharing that. It's concern with Anne, and you're more than welcome to, and you have a good reason to feel that way. And I'm sure at some point you will share and you'll be able to let her know what your concern is because she's already opening up to you. Uh, Nada, visualize a bright sunrise, waves, and blue butterfly. That's beautiful. Well, what I want you guys to do is this. Uh, each one of you has already an image. Uh, Doggone, yeah, a quiet lake. I want you moving forward. I want you to, maybe tomorrow, think of the question that you have, your burning desire, whatever it is, and then imagine a quiet lake. And as you imagine a quiet lake, I want you to invite other resources and see where that quiet lake takes you. Okay. Nada, two palm trees and a diamond this time, bright sunrise, waves, and blue butterfly. Well, imagine you're going on a trip, on a journey, where these elements, these resources are taking place. Where you are, say, you're canoeing. Let's say, for example, down a upstream or downstream, and you see two palm trees. You come across a diamond, and then you in the distance you see bright sunrise and waves and blue. Weave these elements because they're elements that can come into your consciousness for a reason, and allow that issue that's, while at the same time hold on to that question. And the reason is this: I was saying earlier, why do we need that? Because you're essentially using your left brain holding onto the question while you're visualizing the the specific images that your unconscious has given you, the specific images. So essentially, you are your own hypnotist. You are your own journeyman. Because no one in the world can give you the images that you need to receive to make that step forward. It only comes from your unconscious. Through collective collaboration, like what we're doing right now, this can be facilitated. But you guys can see how this can actually help us advance. Okay, so for each one of you, moving forward, what I would say with Anne, focus on your children, have an image. When you're doing your meditation in the morning, if you do any meditation or prayer or any kind of reflection, use that because that's an important image. And the part of you that is a little concerned, that's fine. Take your time. Sometimes a little patience is necessary because once you give that patience and share it, the other aspect just opens up. Nada, two palm trees, and a diamond, and add the butterfly and the sun. And do that. Make sure you do this tomorrow. Because when you wake up in the morning, whilst you're in between that sleep and awake state, I want you to really think of that. Because you are beginning to create or craft your own story. Now, this is very right brain. So the left brain might be wondering, well, how is this related to my quest? Patience, you will find that the two connect at some level. I just wanted to mention very briefly. I had a client a few months ago who had a stroke during the pandemic, and she was recovering very quickly. So I asked her about an image, just very much like this process, and what came up was sun, smiley faces, good food, vacation. And then it really occurred to us that to her that she hadn't taken a vacation in a long, long time. And she had been discussing it with her friend. And sure enough, the following week, they went on a vacation. And what I found afterwards, it was that her recovery is outstanding. I'm still seeing her. It's a quantum leap. So sometimes these little things, these little pearls of wisdom, can help you in moving forward. Okay, so the whole idea of generative trance, folks, is to create connections and strong threads between your conscious and your unconscious mind. So you don't have to go to a hypnotist. You don't have to go to tell you or make me feel this or that, because you already have your best hypnotist. That is your own unconscious, who is sharing and feeding and helping you. It's just allowing that to come into a place that's fairly controlled. So unless anyone else has any additional information, let me see. Oh yes, I just visualize feelings like images. Great, great. Well, that's a wonderful thing to be aware of, because with the images, sometimes you can, if you have a certain feeling, they can change the image and then changes the feeling. So you're on a journey, and this is the most exciting thing about it, is that I'll give you one last thing, and we can go, which is, for imagine when you wake up in the morning, you have before us a sanctuary, or you step into a sanctuary, a very special place, and you can take that question, that intent, right, and drop it into the sanctuary, and then you can ask the resources to come in and share sounds and images and feelings. The key is, as that's popping into your awareness, let it happen. It's not accidental. At that moment, if certain images pop up, it is not accidental. It is related to your quest. Okay. For those who are interested in, I think I've included this. I want to type in one last thing. I'm let me see, New York. I am doing sorry here. I'm doing a 4-hour program on February 21st. This is Generative Trance. And this is going to be a Zoom call. And essentially what we'll do is, it's only limited to 12 people. And what I'll do is I'll show you step by step and how to break down a generative trance and how to implement it in yourself or with others. So we could go more deeply into specifically what each one of you needs. For instance, I would bring someone, let's say I wanted to have Nada come in on a Zoom call, and the two of us interact while the others watch, and then we'll go around in a circle. And the whole idea is for you guys to start getting practice and opening up or creating a space, a container for this vehicle of creation. Because the left brain knows that it's very focused, it knows what it has to do. But sometimes you gotta let the right brain step in, and vice versa. For those who are very right brain, sometimes you gotta let your left brain step in. So it's a balance, because you need both. That's the key to Generative Trance, where you can become your own hypnotist. The program is running, as I said, February 21st. It's 4 hours because I don't like to do full day. I used to do 3-day programs, but 4 hours maximum on Zoom is like the maximum. It's only $49. If you're interested, you can go to my website. It's called NLP Bootcamp, and you can just click there and sign in. The main thing is, and that's what I'm hoping to get through you today, guys, is that deep inside each one of you have the resources to make the changes you need to make. You just got to learn to trust that the resources may not be manifesting in the way you think they are. So let's say a lake might be something that you might want, a quiet lake, maybe either a meditation tool or maybe something beyond that. That's for you to explore. You see, and that's the right brain way of thinking. The reason I said five words or less when you express your goal is because in a way that's how when you were growing up, it's called baby talk, like Johnny hungry, and this is how you start interacting with your right brain, which is used to more fragmented language patterns rather than sequential linear like the way we talk. So I hope, guys, this has been helpful. I'm always here. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Again, New York NLP Institute is called the NLP Bootcamp. And I hope to see you now. If not, definitely subscribe to our channel as well, because we're looking to build an NLP channel. I've been focusing more on live performances over the last few years, but with the pandemic, I'm not sure when we can do live again. This will be an opportunity for you to really stay on top of what we're doing and to really help and move forward. NLP is a great tool, and it's more left brain, more yang, more active, whereas generative trance is more right brain. So when you link the two, you really have the best of both worlds. And it's really, at the end, it's about more personal sovereignty and focus. So I hope if you have any questions or any issues, please send me an email. It's info@NYNLP Institute. I just got to tell you, I got to share one last story, is I just came up with this, that is an image just popped up 2 weeks ago about doing a talk in generative trance. Up until then, I do more NLP based, and I said, no, let me try this. It just popped up right in, like bang, it was like an intuitive. So move forward. You guys have all the resources. Just remember that you have the resources. You just got to begin to connect more with other aspects of your unconscious, and we're here to help you. So I hope this has been helpful, and enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.